Hello and welcome. The purpose of this video is to show you how to create a new repository. First of all, we're at the home page of ControlPoint, which you would have no doubt seen earlier. Let's click on the repositories area. This is the first area, which is called registered, and this is where you create new repositories. We'll look at the others in due course. At the far right hand side of the screen there is a cross. If you hover over it, it says add repository, so that's what we'll do. First of all, under a new repository we have to enter some details, and first of all is the name. For the purposes of this, I'm going to call it example repository. Beneath it is a description box, which is a free format, and you can enter anything in it that you wish. I'm going to put metadata ingestion. Next, you choose the type, and for our purpose it's going to be a file system because I'm looking at file shares, and that's already been predefined. The connector, similarly, I want to choose the file system connector. Next, settings. We have to put in the network path of the, or UNC path of the file share that we want to be ingested. You can add additional file paths if you wanted to cross a larger area. Beneath that, you can include certain file types. If you leave it blank, it includes all file types. But if you wanted just spreadsheets, you could type in Excel, XLX or CSV, etc. Similarly, the box below, you can then exclude certain file types if you did not want them included within this ingestion. The next box is analysis, and this is where we determine what type of ingestion we want to run. And for this purpose, I'm looking at a repository metadata only ingestion. It will grey out the areas that you do not need to consider at this certain point in time. We'll look at metadata only and content ingestions at future videos. So, first of all, yes, I would like to capture the permissions and ownership data of these file shares that I'm looking at, but I won't tick analyze sub-items, and this would include PST files and zip files. Properties, we don't need to really worry about it for this type of ingestion, and for scheduling, that's if we want to run it at a future time. But for this purpose, I want it to run now, so I'll just click on save. Our repository window then appears, and it shows us that it is going forward for scanning. A few minutes has elapsed, and now we can see that the repository has finished scanning, and if I hover over it, it shows me that 12,999 files have been added. If I click here, this is where you can edit certain things and look at some analyzing and refreshing. I want to refresh the totals, and the bottom left corner here we should find that total will change, and it shows me the size of this repository, 3.16 gigabytes. Now, to best get the best out of the repository scan that you've done, you'd want to run it on a regular basis, perhaps once a week if the data changes, so that you get an up-to-date data repository. You can do this by clicking in the corner again, and you can ask to rescan. You click on rescan, your options become what type of rescan do you want to perform. Now, you've already run a full scan, so you would want to choose an incremental, and what would then happen is that the ingestion would only process those documents that have been added, amended, or removed or deleted since the previous scan. You click on the incremental, and it would run that ingestion. Obviously, because it's only looking at the amendments and new and deletions, it would run much quicker. this ends the video on how to create a new repository.